curry leaves, freshly grated coconut and 100 different spices. Welcome to the fresh intensity of Sri Lankan food. The original spice island full of so many delicious surprises. Join our food safari to learn how the queen of Asian cooking in Australia makes a feast from her homeland. A colourful vegetable curry, delicious spiced prawns, and an expert rundown on sambals and side dishes. Plus the fragrant delights of a traditional dessert.
Sri Lankan food is excitement, really. It's about many different flavours, from hot and sour to pepper to chilli to curry. There's incredible colours. The greens, the yellows, using your turmerics and your saffrons, and then the dark browns and the roasted and the dry curries and the wet curries, and it's endless. I think most of it has been this combination of Muslim, Tamil and Sinhalese, and that has combined to make Sri Lankan food what it is today. Green.
Peter Kuravita spends most of his waking hours working in and for his Sydney waterfront restaurant Flying Fish, even doing all his produce shopping before dawn. His love of Sri Lankan food stemmed from his formidable grandmother, who presided over every meal the extended family enjoyed in their big compound in Colombo. Peter, if I'm starting a Sri Lankan pantry, what do I need?
You need to come to a place like this where you can find all the different spices. The important ones are cumin seed and powder, coriander seed and powder, fenugreek.
Fenugreek seeds are essential
is
for
essential,
Sri Lankan
yeah.
curry.
It's cloves, cardamoms definitely, cinnamon especially, black peppercorns, chili powders, probably about between 13 and 25 different spices you should have in your pantry. And the idea is that you have them fresh. So buy small amounts. Once you've opened them, I think I wouldn't have them more than four to 6 weeks. And I bet most people have spices in their cupboards older than their children, for sure. You need to have your base flavourings, pandan and curry leaves. They go with pretty much everything. Normally they're used when you're making a curry, you throw them into the hot oil, it crackles and pops.
That is the smell of Sri Lanka, isn't it?
It sure is. Wattakka is a really important and unusual and very uniquely Sri Lankan souring agent. It's like a it's like a little fruit that dries out and goes black. You soak it in hot water and either grind it and make a paste, or actually, if you want only a slight amount of sour flavour, you just put 1 or 2 pieces into your curry and let it sit. It's great for fish curries. That's where it's really used.
Is there a lot of oil used in Sri Lankan cooking?
Definitely. A lot of oil.
A lot of oil.
Yeah, and I think a lot of bad oils, which taste very good. I think number one is this beast here, coconut oil.
That would taste good.
It tastes fantastic. Everything tastes a lot richer and fattier, I guess.
Yeah.
And the flavour that it gives, especially when you're cooking sweets, they use it a lot. You know, and I think the Sri Lankans toss up the flavour compared to the health and always go for the flavour. I use it sparingly.
Tell me about the esteem in which coconuts are held.
Well, it's a very important part of life. Everything from building your house to making brooms to spoons. But, you know, the essential part is the actual meat and flesh itself, which you get your coconut cream from.
So if you're not going to grind your own coconut, what's the next best thing?
I think Maggi, it's a Sri Lankan Maggi coconut powder, yeah. This for home is fantastic. I feel it gives the best flavour, and that's what it's all about. We're talking about flavour and how things are going to taste authentic, and this will help you get there. It still has the creaminess, but it doesn't have any additives, and it hasn't been pasteurised, so it doesn't have that tinny flavour either. Little samba rice. Now, samba rice, my mum used to call chicken teeth, because they're so tiny,
aren't they?
And it's a pungent is probably a good word for it. Other people say
pungent?
Yeah, other people say it stinks. And it's one of the most regularly eaten rices. When you do cook it, it's best to take a stick of pandanus and put it into it, and it reduces the aroma that travels through your restaurant or your house. It's like durian. You know, once you get it past your nose, it tastes damn good. And the last one, the most important thing, which is used in the cuisine all the time, is the moulded fish. Okay, and this is used in so many things, in curries, in sambal preparations. When we first arrived into Australia, we got to customs. Big 6-foot red-headed guy gets a tin of this moulded fish and sniffs it. Oh, Jesus! Just gave it to us. Go, go, go. So I was like, yeah, welcome to Australia.
Oh, good. Sri Lankans talk about eating curry and rice, but you'd never have a meal without the accompaniments. One of them is sambal, which always has onion and chilli, and they say you really need that kick for your taste buds.
These are basically peasant cuisines that were heavily based around the starch component with a little bit of something else. And if all you had was rice and you couldn't afford meat and the veggies, well, even having a bit of chutney would make the rice go down easy. And that's why the sambals are kind of developed as well, yeah? Convenient ways of making rice taste good, if nothing else.
Yeah. Paul van Rijk was born in Colombo, descended from Dutch colonists who had a significant role in Sri Lanka, or Ceylon as it was then known. As well as running a Sri Lankan catering business, he writes restaurant reviews, leads tours to his homeland and turns on a Sri Lankan banquet once a month at his local bowling club.
Whoa! Across the middle. And as you can see, Maeve, so now we've got to scrape it, yeah? And then you turn this handle. And coconut goes everywhere. You can't do pol sambal with anything but fresh coconut, okay? So, just take probably about that much. So some chili. You like your stuff pretty hot, don't you?
Reasonably, but I don't think I'm up in your sort of fiery stages.
Yeah. Bit of salt. Moulded fish. It's a bonito that's been spiced and then dried and then smoked. Now, I'm going to grind this fairly fine. Can you put a healthy pinch of that in? I'm going to add the onions.
So that's fine eschalot.
That's the fine eschalot again, and then just putting some lime juice in there. Look at that colour. You know it's going to be good when the colour goes from like just pale orange to reasonably startling sunsetty, tequila sunrise type orange.
Yeah. It looks so fresh.
And that's it. That's your sambal.
It looks fantastic. Okay, so you put it on your palm and then you go...
Yeah. What do you reckon? Tangy.
Oh, getting hot.
Hot.
Nice fresh coconut. Really good.
Yeah.
My taste buds are as alive as any Sri Lankan. Another favourite accompaniment is called melon, which uses any leafy green vegetable. In oil, black mustard seeds, curry leaves, turmeric and salt are cooked, then the chopped vegetable added. Green chilli, fresh coconut, and a minute later, it's ready. That does look good.
Smells good, huh?
It sure does. Yeah. Coconut and toasty as well.
Yeah.
I could eat a lot of that.
Yeah?
That's really nice.
It is nice, eh?
It is really, really nice. While Sri Lankans are not generally vegetarian, vegetables play a huge part in the cuisine. Most meals have a couple of different veggie curries as well as accompaniments. And some of the veggies are entirely unknown outside Sri Lanka. Drumsticks are a vegetable loved for their slightly bitter flavour, cooked here in what's called a white curry and served as an accompaniment. Other vegetables, better known in the West, make glorious curries, including pumpkin.
The colour has to be very dark. And also we cook with the skin.
Chef Sunil Ranasinghe trained in 5-star hotels in Sri Lanka, then worked around the world before coming to Australia to open 2 successful restaurants and most recently a spice store.
Today I'm using clay pot as a special thing. 2 tablespoons vegetable oil. You don't cook without curry leaves. No curry leaves, no Sri Lankan cooking. And then 2 green chilies only. And 3 whole garlic sliced. Normally I prefer to cook with red onion. It has more flavor for me. And also get a nice color. Fenugreek you add very little. It has a very strong flavor. Then you add the mustard seeds, half a teaspoon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the rest of the ingredients into the pumpkin. And just this is 1 teaspoon ground mustard, just 1 teaspoon turmeric, 2 tablespoons of Sri Lankan roasted curry powder, and 1 teaspoon chili powder, 1 spoon salt. Mix it nicely, then goes into the pot. And then the coconut milk, just 2 cups of coconut milk, and mix it nicely.
Is that all you do now? That's it?
That's it.
So you keep it on a high heat?
High heat. Otherwise get like soft and mashy.
Sunil dry toast short grain rice and desiccated coconut until they're brown and fragrant. Then he blends them to a delicious toasty powder, which he adds in the final minutes of cooking to thicken and flavour the curry.
Wattakka kalupo, pumpkin with roasted coconut and rice grain.
One of the great delights of Sri Lankan food is the bowl-shaped pancake called a hopper. Made from rice flour, yeast and coconut milk, they're crispy on the bottom and perfect for scooping up curries. Another variation on the hopper is the string hopper. Light, fluffy and usually made by an expert like Tony Pyrrhus and purchased by families for festive lunches or dinners. These are also used to scoop up curries.